Welcome to this short demo of web call actions available in Case Manager 5.2. Now in this demo, we're going to set up South African ID number verification in the system by means of a web call. We are going to make use of the following websites. It's www.checkid.co.za. Now this website supports a parameter where you can send in an ID and you can get the page indicating whether the number is valid or not. And that's exactly what we will do from the Case Manager system. Now to set this up, you can open the configuration tools. There's a new section in there, integration. If you open that section, there's web call actions. And in the section here, you will see a list of the actions that's already set up in the system. Now, when it is set up, this will create buttons in Case Manager, which can then be activated by an agent making use of the system. So let's go ahead and create a new action. All right, here we go. So there's a few properties we can set on a web call action. First of all, name. We're going to call this verify ID number. And some description. Now this will be displayed as a tooltip for the user. So you can say verify that the ID number on the case is a valid South African ID number. There we go. All right, so we'll get to the URL template now. Let's just first continue with the rest of it. So we support a few different browsers. The first is the default system browser. This will be the browser on the Windows machine. So if your default browser is Chrome, when you select this URL will be opened in Chrome. However, we also implemented internal browser in Case Manager. Now you have a bit more control with this. With this browser, there's no address bar, so the agent cannot use this to browse different websites. The URL that you open will be the one that is viewed by the agent. You can go to different pages, but it must be a link on the page itself where you start from. Now this is the one that we will choose. There's some beta functionality that we're also trying out, and this is where we can call a local program on the computer by means of a command line call. We're not going to go into that right now. All right, so this action will be associated with a specific object. Now we support case and none at this stage. With none, the action will be available irrespective of whether a case is open or not, but you will not have tag merging, which we'll get to in a bit. This action will be associated with the case. You want to verify whether the ID number on a specific case is valid, and therefore this is associated with the case. The actions can also be grouped by toolbar. Now this is the open text field. All the actions with the same name will be grouped on the same toolbar. You can also view the standard toolbars in Case Manager by customizing the toolbar, and then you'll see the names, and you can use one of those names as well to add the action to that toolbar. So I'm going to call this, let's call this web call for now, and then you can add an icon that will be used on the button. Now if you do not choose an icon, you will make use of the default icon, so you don't always have to specify this. We will specify one in this demo. All right. The sizes of the icons are specified there. However, if you choose a larger image, it will be adjusted to the correct size, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, let's upload it, and here we can view the image that will be used. Now the external reference is used to uniquely identify the action, and this is specifically for imports and exports. So if you export an action and there's an updated version of it that you import again, it will overwrite this action, so there's not multiple versions of this one created in one system. We will just call this verify SAID. All right, and this is active in the system as well. All right, so setting up the template. Now you can specify the URL. If you have chosen case, there's some tag merging available, so we will use this functionality just by clicking the button on the field itself, and this will open up a new control which will show you the available fields. The URL that we want to access is www.checkid.co.za, and this URL supports a parameter ID, which we then want to pass in the ID number that is on the case. And this is part of the data's details. And here we find the ID number. Simply double click that and that'll add the tag, which will then be merged once the URL is called. And there we go, as simple as that. I'm going to save and close, and then that'll create the new action which is active in the system. Alright, so let's open Case Manager. Well, there we have it. There you can see the button added to the toolbar. If I then open the case, you'll see there's the ID number on this case, and if I click this button, this will open the Case Manager internal browser, and it will open it on that page. And then it will show you this is not a valid number. This is exactly what you want in the system to verify whether the number is valid, and just by clicking the button you're integrated into this website where you can see whether the ID number is valid or not. Alright, so let's close again all of this. Alright, so it also supports import and export of these actions. Over here I'm going to select the action and just export this. Now it's saved as a CWC file. I'm going to call this verify SAID, and then this will be saved, and then from there you can just import it into your system, and there you have it. Well, that's just a short demonstration of the web call actions. Let us know what you think.